Hey guys, it is Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. All right, so a couple of months ago, I took part in this kind of massive Megadeth collab. A lot of, well-known YouTubers took part in it, and metal guys at least. That was put together by my buddy Mark Grocky, where this was like this huge Megadeth collaboration. I don't know, it was like 11, 12 minutes long. A lot of cool parts of the songs, and they had me play the Killing Road solo, which is one of Marty Friedman's greatest solos ever in Megadeth. So I don't know if the song might not be that very popular, but it's really got one of Marty's best solos in it. So that I did that for the collab, since then, everybody that's seen the collab is asking if I will actually teach the whole song and the solo. So now I'm going to do, by the way, the link to that video, that collab video, you should watch it. It is killer. It's got a lot of killer solos in it and a lot of cool performers. So you can check out that video out below on Mark's channel. And you'll see a little clip of my performance in it here when we get to the solo. But we're going to do the whole song, not just the solo. So the rhythms here are pretty simple. It's a pretty simply laid out song, and then the solos, things get turned up quite a bit. Anyway, so now we are tuned down a half step as well too. So get your guitar a half step down, just gonna E flat or D sharp. Now, most tuners read as sharp, so D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. I know you guys know this. If you're learning this song, you already know this kind of stuff. Anyway, before I get into it, please subscribe to the channel. If you have not already, do it. Ring that notification bell while you're at it so you can notice a new video. You can like and comment, watch the videos. It really, really helps. If you really want to support what I do here on YouTube with all these song lessons and help me keep them going, join my Guitar Academy. That's the way I stay alive and I feed my dog, and everything continues to roll. And you're gonna see a link to that in the description. It's gonna give you a free 7-day trial so you can check it out. So you can make sure it's right for you. It contains all my courses, just one subscription, full access to the whole school, from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses on technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it. I'm live every Saturday with Academy members, like the live video chats. You get personalized support from me beyond that, so please go check it out. All right, so if you get in the proper tuning here, let's start with this intro. So we have this riff and then a little comes in over it. So we're gonna play this one first. So there's an open E a couple times. I'm gonna call it E even though it's E flat. So that's that couple hits on the low E, and then 7 on the A, couple hits on low E again, up to 8 on the A, couple hits again. So then back to the 7. So wait, this. And then you're gonna hit 8, then 1 hit on the E, down to 5 on the A. So the rhythms here are for especially Megadeth standards, pretty easy. So we're gonna So you're gonna get that going, and then after a couple times through, you're gonna hear this start played with it. So it's just the same melody notes, same kind of melody, but it's 9, 10, 9, 10, 7, all on the D. And then it gets to what is really the main riff of the song, which is also the verse. All right, so let's take a look at that. So we're gonna start here with this. So we're gonna, a couple hits on the low E, and that's 7 on the A. Couple hits on the E again, up to 8 on the A, and and then a couple hits on the low E again. So with this. Oh, sorry. When you get back to this E, it goes 7 on the A to 8 on the low E. Then 5 on the A, slide down to 2. Then you're gonna catch that open G string in there. After, and then you're gonna go 3, 2, 1 on the low E. So when you get to there, that's just kind of this octave thing. So as soon as you get down to the 1, that's the beginning of this little octave riff. So we have this. So a couple times on the 1 there on the E, over to the 3rd fret of the D, hit once. Then you do that again. And then 1 time per each. So this. All right, so we have this so far. All right, and then we're gonna jump up here, which is just kind of a major arpeggios. So it's a C major arpeggio to a B major arpeggio. So that's gonna be 8 on the low E, 7 on the A, 5 on the D, and 5 on the G. Now it's heavily palmated. I like to just alternate pick across it. And then take the exact same thing down 1 fret. So with kind of keep repeating. All right, and then we get to the chorus. This one's pretty simple. It looks like this. So it's really just kind of some power chords there. So E power chord, so it's an open E, and then the 7th fret there on the A, 9 on the D, 9 on the G, or 7. You get all the open strings if you want. And then the B power chord is 7 on the low E, the B flat power chord here at the 6th fret, then down to 3, and then 1, and then the open E power chord. So that is about it, and then it goes through the verse again, and then back into the same chorus, so that nothing changes there. Now we get to the after the second chorus, we get to it goes back to that main riff, that verse riff again. There's a little variation, a little different ending that they're gonna do to lead into the solo section. All right, so it looks like this with the kind of variation at the end. All right, so it's the same riff 1 time through. So when you get to the end of it, when it starts over, you're gonna, instead of doing that full chromatic riff, when you get down to the 2 on that, instead of going all the way down to 1, go, when you get here, you're gonna jump up. So that's gonna be that power chord from the 7th fret off the A, slide up to 8. Then you hit that low E in between each one of these. And then the power chord slide from 5 to 7, then 3 to 5, and then 2 to 3. And then there's a quick little heavily palmed second fret power chord off the A, then first fret off to the third fret power chord off the low E, and then down to that F sharp power chord at the second fret there. So this, and that when you get there, that's the beginning of the solo section. So let me play. So Dave is playing the first solo is Marty's. It's the one I played in that video. So let me show you that rhythm that Dave is doing underneath Marty's solo. And then I'll show you how to play Marty's solo. And then we'll do Dave's solo after that. And I'll, of course, with the rhythm guitar part, which you already know is just the main riff. Anyway, so the solo rhythm underneath Marty's looks like this. All right, so it's just that F sharp power chord. Chug on that a little bit. And then, it's kind of like 3 accents there. Kind of 3 accents on that chord. Then jump up, move it up to the 3rd fret before you go to the open E power chord. So this. Then you start chugging on that, kind of hit the E, let it ring for a second. Then start chugging on that. So then it goes, so it's a couple of hits there, that 3rd fret power chord, and then again, and then back to start over. So we have this. All right, so now let's take a look at, now before I get into it, because I'll probably forget when I get there, Dave's solo is just the, Marty goes and plays the main riff. So that's what's going on underneath the main solo, Dave's solo. All right, so now I'm gonna show you the clip that I did in that collab video. Well, my portion, it was edited together with all the other people playing in the group with me. It's a very cool video, but really cool editing. But I'll just show you my clip here of my performance there. I'm going to be using my Ibanez. I actually retuned. That's usually not a guitar. I put in half-step down tuning. This guy. It's usually a standard tuned guitar, but I did it special for that collab. But this is usually my down tuned guitar, so why I'm using it for this lesson. But anyway, so watch the performance real quick for the solo, and then I'll show you how to play it note for note. So that one's pretty fun and pretty crazy. So now let's take a look at this first phrase. So it's gonna start sliding into the 9th fret there on the A. And then it play 8, 11 on the D. Over to 11 on the G. And then it's going to play 9 on the G, 11 on the D, to 9 on that A again. From there, it's gonna go 8, 11 on the D, 7, 9 on the G. And then slide up to 11, back to 9, back to 7. So when you get back to that 7, you're gonna hammer on 9, pull off to 7, slide down to 6, and then hammer 6 to 7 on the G, pull back up to 6, slide down to 4. So we have this. And then here, so that's going to be 3, 4 on the G, then a quick little half step bend and release on that 3. Over to 4 on the D string, and then slide up to a 11 on the D. All right, next phrase. So that's going to slide into the 11th fret there on the G. And then you're going to play 9, 11, 12 on the G. Then 10, 11 on the B. Then kind of a half step bend and release. Now that's a kind of a pre-bend into that. Release. Then you're gonna go 14, 12, 11, 12. Okay, so after you get that to 14, 12, 11, then you're gonna play 12, hammer 14, pull back off to 12, and then back down to 11. So look at this. Then back to 12. Over 11 on the G string. And then we kind of do that little, kind of straight up and down. So we have 11 on the G, 12 on the B, hammer on 14, 10 on the high E string, pull off 14 to 10 on the high E. Then you're going to pull off 14 to 12 on the B, over to 11 on the G, and then back to 12 on the B. So we have this. All right, now we get to a really cool section. Looks like this. So big stretcher here. So you're gonna kind of slide into the 8th fret there on the D string, and you're gonna pull off. So you're gonna pull off 11 to 6, then over to 8 on the D string. So you do that a couple times. And then when you get to 11 to start over, starting over, you're going to slide up to 15. And then here you're going to pull off, you're going to kind of bar the 11th fret across the D and the G. You're going to pull off 15 to 11 on the G, and then over to 11 on the D. So you do that lick twice, just like this one, where you're pulling off and then go over to the note on the D string. You're going to do that twice. And then here, instead of picking this note and sliding up, it's just going to slide off, pull off back to the 11th. So we have this. So then we're going to kind of come over to the B and the G string. You're going to pull off 14 to 11 on the B, over to 11 on the G. And then like we did the first one here, sliding up when you hit the top note the third time through. You're you're gonna do the same thing here. So you're gonna slide up to 17 there from that 14, the third time hitting that 14. So it is. And then, just like we did here, same pattern there. You're gonna pull off 17 to 14 on the B, over to 15 on the G. So do that twice, and then end it with the pull off from 17 to 14. So that's that whole section. All right, from here we have this. All right, so after that after you've pulled off to that 14 there, we have this. So that's going to be back to 15 on the B, hammer on 17, pull off to 15, over to pull off to 14. And then the two pick notes are when you're crossing strings. So you'll pick the 16 on the G string, and then back to that 14 on the Bs. So it's kind of like this. So I'm going to pick when I get to 16 on the G, then back to the B to start that hammer on back to 15, 17, 15, 14, and then the note on the G string is going to change from 16 to 15. Other than that, the same lick. Picking the G string, then the B, and then kind of hammer up, back down, pull off, back down. So it is. All right, then we have some sweeps. Well, you don't have to sweep them if you don't want. You can do it with alternate picking. But regardless, the notes are going to be 17 on the D, 16 on the G, 15 on the B. Slide down one fret. And then kind of the same thing now at the 16th. So 16, 15, 14, slide down to 12 this time. And then so when you get here, we're going to play it. So that's going to be 14 on the D, 12 on the G, then 12 on the B, hammer 14, pull back up to 12. And then 14 on the D, 12 on the G, back to that 14, down to 11 on the G. So it is. All right, now this crazy lick is the last lick is kind of crazy. This next phrase. It's not the last lick in the solo, but it's kind of easier played than said. So it's kind of, you're gonna, I'm sorry. It does that first. It's gonna go, which is 15, pull off to 14, then 12, then hammer back on 14. So you do that first, and then. Now that lick is going to be pick 15 now. After you're hanging on that F sharp there, and then you're going to just go. You're going to pull off 15 to 14 to 12, and then 14, play 14, pull off to 13 and 12. And then over to 16 on the B, pull off to 15, 14, 13. And then slide up to 14. So it's, when you slide up to 14, hammer on 15, pull back off to 14, and then play 16 on the G, pull off to 14. And so that, you're gonna bend up the 17th fret on the high E string, and then play 17, 14, and then play 17, 14 on the B, and then that's another bend of the 17 on the B, then play 17, 14. And then kind of a bend and release of the 16 on the G, pull off to 14, and then back to that 16. All right, and then we get to the kind of last little arpeggio section. All right, so slide into the 14th fret there on the B. And then we're going to be pulling off from the 18th fret on the high E down to the 14, over to 14 on that B string. So do that a couple times. Then pick that top note, slide it up to 21, and then from there. So then you can do that same pattern here. 21, pull off to 18, over to 19 on the B. Do that twice, and then up back to that top note. So you're gonna, basically the pattern is gonna be, you're gonna do that lick twice, that 3-note lick twice, then pick the top note and slide. And then from there, do the same lick again, pick the top note, slide. And then the third group of notes that you're going to do that same pattern with is pulling off 15 to 12 on the high E, over to 14 on the B. And of course, the third time through of hitting that 15, slide up to 15, and then you're back to that original arpeggio. And then here, so we have this so far. So don't do that there. So then here, after that, sliding up to you're gonna hit that third time of hitting that 18, slide up to 19, and then the arpeggio will be 19, pull it off to 15, over to 17 on the B. Then the third time with that 19, slide it up to 22. So with this. And here you're gonna kind of complete the pattern. You're gonna go 22, pull off to 19, over to 20 on the B. You're gonna do that twice and then end it with a pull off from 22 to that 19. So we have this. And then here at the very end, we have this lick that's absolutely nuts. And it's actually a pattern done twice. So it looks like this. So that's going to be pulling off from 24 to 19 on the high E. So 24 to 19, over to 20 on the B. Then play that 19 again, slide down to 15. And then you're going to play 19, pull off to that 15, over to 17 on the B string. And then we're going to kind of continue, do the same pattern. Same pattern again, but just different notes. So after this, we're gonna have this. Pulling off 19 to 15 again, over to 17 on the B, back to that 15 on the high E, slide down to 12. Then here, you're gonna pull off 15 to 12, then roll over to the 12 on the B string, and end it with a bend at the 17th fret. So we have this pattern here, and then the same pattern, different notes. So it's a lot easier to understand that kind of cacophony of notes. Hey, he was in the cacophony. If you can see the patterns that are being used. And then you have that 17th fret bend, and then we have some unison bends. So they get kind of crazy. The unison bend, you're gonna hold the 14th fret on the high E, and you're gonna be bending up the 17th fret on the B. So you do that to 14, then 15, then 17, 19, and 20. All right, then we get to Dave's solo, which is, like I said before, over that same kind of main riff. All right, so Dave's solo looks like that. A lot easier, a lot shorter. All right, so that's a bend at the 22nd fret on the high E string. So a few of them, and then just resolve it without to the 22nd fret without the bend, and then we have this. So that's just kind of a sequence taken down through the scale. So we're gonna have 20 to 22 on the high E, and then 19 to 20. And then 22 on the B, back over to that 19th fret on the high E. So this. You see that pattern there. You're just kind of going down a note and back up, down a note, back up. Kind of. And then 20 to 22 on the B, 19 to 20 on the B. And then we're going to play 19 on the G. I'm sorry, 21 on the G. Back to 19 on the B. And then resolve it there to the 19th fret on the G. And we have this. So that's going to be kind of 19, 20, 22, into a bend at the 22nd fret. And then 22 to 20 on the B, over to 22 on the G. And then we're going to end the solo. So that's going to be a little chromatic thing. We're going to 12th fret on the high E string, pull off to 11, pull off to 10, over to 12 on the B, back to that 10th fret on the high E. And then we're going to go. That's going to be over in the B string. Going to go pull off 12 to 11 to 10 again. Over to 12 on the G. Then 10 on the B, hammer 11. Back to 10. Then 12, 9 on the G. I forgot to mention, if you're playing along with Marty's solo, my clip of Marty's solo, it's sped up. It's like 10 to 12 beats a minute faster than the original recording. It had to be done that way because of the collab. When they're kind of piecing all these different songs together, they have to kind of make, the rhythms kind of make it seem like it goes seamlessly to the others. So the songs around it were obviously faster tempo, so we had to bump up the Killing Road a little bit. So it made it a lot harder to play, but so you don't have to play it follow along with me in this video. If you do, you're gonna be playing it quite a bit faster than Marty did on the actual recording. So you probably want to follow along the actual recording. It's gonna make it a lot easier to hit that tempo. All right, so then we're just gonna end the song with the same easy chorus. Same chorus riff, just goes on to the very end of the song. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's got an amazing solo by Marty and a really melodic solo by Dave as well too. So it's a really good, the solos in the song are really cool, and then the riffs are really killer, really fun to play too, even though they're not that, I mean, the main riff's a little hard, kind of some skipping around, but for the most part, it's pretty easy compared to a lot of Megadeth stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.